Om Namo Narayana and welcome back to a reading of another Upanishad. Today we're looking at the Aruni Upanishad. So just going to dive right in. It's not very long. We're going to get to the whole thing in today's video. Aruna's son went to the sphere of Brahma, the creator, and reaching there said, Lord, in what way can I relinquish work altogether? Brahma said to him, You must give up your sons, brothers, friends, and the rest. Your hair tuft and the holy thread, your sacrifices and books regulating them, your scriptures. You must give up the spheres entitled Bhava, Svar, Mahar, Jhana, Tapas, and Satya, and the seven nether regions of Atala, Patala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, and Mahatala, together with the whole universe, and must take on the staff and the scanting clothing of the sannyasin. You must renounce everything else. Everything else. The householder or the brahmachari or the vanaprastha should commit the fires that lead to the different spheres to the fire that is in the stomach and consign sacred mantra, the Gayatri, to the fire that is in his own speech. He should throw the holy thread on the ground or into the water. The Kutikshara living a brahmachari's life should give up his relatives and discard his begging bowl and the straining cloth, and should give up his triple staves, and the fires that lead to the particular spheres. Henceforth he should behave like one who has got no mantra to repeat, and should give up the desire to go to the higher spheres. Bathe at the beginning of the 3 meeting points of the day, morning, noon, and evening, should effect a union with his Atman through the highest concentration, and from amongst the whole range of the Vedas should repeat only the Aranyakas, only the Upanishads, nothing but the Upanishads. Verily, I am Brahman, the Sutra. The Sutra is Brahman, for it originates the cosmos. I myself am the Sutra, because I am a man of realization. The wise one who has realized this should give up his triple holy thread. I have renounced, I have renounced, I have renounced. Uttering this thrice he should declare, From me there is no fear in word, thought, or deed to any being, for from me everything has proceeded. Uttering the mantra, That art my friend, so protect me. Thou art strength and my friend in all seen and unseen danger. Thou art the thunder of the Lord of the universe, etc. He should hold up high the bamboo staff and put on the loincloth. He should take food as if it were medicine, absolutely. Carefully guard the chastity in thought, word, and deed. Do non-injury, and do not take any acceptance and have non-acceptance of superfluous gifts. Be non-thieving and truthful. And guard all these things by all means. Guard them surely. Now then, the duties of the highest class of itinerant monks, the Paramahamsa Parivrajaka's, are as follows. They must sit and lie down on the ground. Those already having taken the vow of chastity should use an earthen bowl or one made of a gourd or a wooden bowl. They should give up lust, anger, avarice, infatuation, ostentation, haughtiness, jealousy, attachment to objects, egotism, falsehood, and the like. The sannyasin should stay at one place during the 4 months of the rainy season, and during the remaining 8 months wander alone or with a single companion. Verily, one who has realized the true import of the Vedas may give up those things previously enumerated, after the investiture with the holy thread, or he may do so even before the ceremony. He should give up his father, sons, his sacrificial fires, and the holy thread. He should give up his works, his wife, and all else that he may possess. Sannyasins enter a village for begging purposes only, with their palms or their stomach as the receptacle for food. Uttering Om, 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 they should mentally place this mantra, the Upanishad, in the different parts of their body. He who realizes truth in this manner is really the wise one. He who knows this should give up the staff made of the wood of the palasha, the bilva, or the fig trees, his skin and girdle and the holy thread, and thus be a hero. That supreme state of the all-pervading deity the sages realize for all time, like the eye pervading from one end of the sky to the other. Sages purged of all impurities like anger, etc., who have awakened from the sleep of ignorance, kindle that truth in the minds of the inquirers, that supreme state of the all pervading deity. Such indeed is the injunction of the scriptures leading to liberation, the injunction of the Vedas. Thus ends the Aruni Upanishad. I've mentioned this before. If one gave up everything, they would eventually be arrested for vagrancy in the United States and maybe end up on the street dying of starvation or be living in a soup kitchen atmosphere and whatever. If you walked into a town today wearing only a loincloth begging, you'd literally be arrested. So we have a problem. These scriptures no longer work with modern society. Now, maybe modern society is wrong, or the scriptures were for a time and place and need to be adapted. So I think there are problems with modern society, but I don't think we should go back to the way it was in India 5,000 years ago. I also think that religions change, and we shouldn't be afraid of all changes. They naturally change, and sometimes we forget changes because we don't see them in our lifetime. But, for example, if you went back to the Catholic Church 100 years ago, and I'm doing this video, in the 2020s, go back to the 1820s, for example, they probably wouldn't recognize the Catholic Church of today. Well, they'd be speaking Latin. None of us today speak Latin. The Pope is very different. The way things happen is very different. But we don't remember that. So for us to look at the church today, oh, well, this is how the church is. Maybe, sort of. I mean, that may not be the best example. The church is changing a lot over the last few years and since the Second Vatican Council. But you know what I mean. This is what we know as the church. To go back to another church, that's foreign to us. We watch movies and we're like, oh yeah, that old Middle Ages. Thank God the church has changed, and we forget the change is natural. So sometimes maybe we look at these scriptures, we so want to have them in our life because society is messed up and we see light in the scriptures, but then we're like, God, how do we make the scripture work? And we want to honor the scripture and we don't want to change the scripture, but the fact is maybe it's like the Catholic Church, it must change. The scripture maybe isn't set in stone. Can it be set in stone? Does God really want us to live one static world always? I don't think so because the world changes. And if God creates the world, then God likes change. Now, we shouldn't dump the scripture. So it is this weird line of do we keep, do we get rid of, do we do whatever? You know? It is something to ponder. That's all I've got to say. I'm just going to say thank you for joining me. Feel free to comment in below on the scripture or what I've said afterwards. And as always, I will see you in the next video on our spiritual journey. Jai Shri Krishna.